The Underground Railroad isn't a subway. Reader's Theater script. Lights, camera, action.
Students, today we will be talking about the Underground Railroad. Before we begin, let's find out what you already know. Trey?
People take the Underground Railroad to work every day.
No, you're thinking of the subway.
Are subways underground railroads?
Yes, but
Oh, I thought you said I was wrong.
you are wrong.
No, ma'am, I'm confused.
Sabrina, you had your hand up. Can you help Trey out?
I was just going to say, I rode the subway once when I visited New York City. It was so fun.
We're not talking about the subway, we're talking about the Underground Railroad back in the mid-80s. The Underground Railroad helped slaves escape to freedom.
Slaves take the subway to freedom?
Jeffrey, please pay attention.
Yes, ma'am.
The Fudge Slave Act of 1850 made it illegal for people to run away, people help runaway slaves. So there had to be a secret way to help slaves escape to freedom.
I get it. So they built a subway from the southern states to the northern states. Cool.
That's not cool.
You mean you believe the slaves should have remained in captivity?
Of course not. But no one took a subway. The Underground Railroad was not a real train.
It wasn't real?
Are you saying that when the slaves went to go get on the train, it wasn't there?
How do you make the whole train disappear?
All aboard! The invisible train isn't real, so it will take you nowhere. All aboard!
If you will listen just for a minute, it's called the Underground Railroad because, like I said, it was a secret way to reach the northern states.
Oh, like a secret train? Like the Hogwarts Express?
Everybody pay attention. The Underground Railroad was not a subway and it was not a train. It was simply a secret way for slaves to reach freedom. I passed on note cards which have some important facts about the Underground Railroad written on them. Maybe these will help you understand better. Jennifer, you may begin, please.
In the 1850s, land in the southern United States stretched as far as an eye could see. Cotton and sugarcane were plentiful. Because these crops were all picked by hand, plantation owners had slaves to do the work.
This was hard work, and the slaves were not paid any wages.
Many slaves stayed and worked the field until their dying days.
Other slaves chose to run away.
These slaves were willing to risk everything in order to live life as a free man or woman.
People in the north helped slaves make their way to the northern states where each man, woman, and child will live lives of freedom.
But then they had to help the slaves in secret so the slaves catchers wouldn't find out that they were up to.
These secret routes became known as the Underground Railroad.
Does that help everybody understand it a little bit better?
Yes, ma'am. Sure does.
Clear as a bell.
Fact time with our fifth graders. Here we have Aubrey. Aubrey, can you tell us, did the Underground Railroad really run underground?
No, the Underground Railroad didn't run underground. It wasn't even a real railroad. The Underground Railroad was a secret pathway from slavery in the South to freedom in the North between 1810 and 1850. Over 1,000 African American slaves traveled on the Underground Railroad to northern states and Canada where they could be free. They were held by many brave people along the way.
Okay, Sodi, can you tell me who conducted the Underground Railroad?
There were many African Americans and white conductors on the Underground Railroad. Some conductors gave runaway slaves food and safe places to hide. Other conductors took runaway slaves to the next station on the Underground Railroad. Thousands of slaves and these brave conductors took to thank for their right to freedom. Harriet Tubman is one of the most famous Underground Railroad conductors.
If you want to learn more about the Underground Railroad, you can find this book and others like it in the LRC.